Welcome to the Poker Pool Show here on Stickem.com, brought to you by Crown Games. I'm Louis Estrada.
And I'm Christy Kapik.
And you know, you're here tuning in today, ready for an exciting game. It's America's hottest new game. It's called Poker Pool, and it combines the mental strategy of cards with the physical skills of pool.
You gentlemen are going to get to select one of these cards here. The highest card is going to be the gentleman who gets to break. And we also start out with a $5 ante, and then after every play, the player is going to come back and get to bet again. So good luck, gentlemen. All right, let me see here what they have.
4 diamonds.
And I have a 3 of spades.
All right, so it looks like Vladimir the Impaler Beck is going to get to break for us today. So join us at the table.
And Vladimir is our returning champion, so let's play Poker Pool. It looks like Vladimir's ready. Let's see how the break goes today. Very strong break. He does pocket a ball. It looks like he's pocketed the King of Hearts, so the King of Hearts is on the board, as well as the 10 of Hearts. Pockets 2 balls off the break, the King of Hearts and the 10 of Hearts. What a great start for Vladimir.
That was lucky. That was very fortunate to have 2 of the same suit go in. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, it puts him in a great spot to start off of this break. But you know what? Let's go ahead and go to the betting table. It's his turn to bet. He's pocketed his first 2 balls. So let's see where he goes on his bet here as we start off the day here.
I will bet $25.
All right, so he is going to bet $25. Let's see if Dan, the man. All right, so he's going to see his 25.
Okay, he's calling the Jack of Hearts in the bottom right corner here. The teal Jack of Hearts. Strikes it very nicely. He pockets the Jack of Hearts. He's now got that on the board, so he's now with a King, Jack, and 10, all of hearts. He's on his way for a possible royal flush, possible straight flush. We'll have to see how this hand goes.
I will bet another $25.
All right, so Vladimir is coming back to the betting table here. He's going to bet another 25, and it looks like Dan is going to see him on that 25. So you got a pretty good.
I have a straight flush going, so I will need an ace and a queen or a joker in between.
All right.
Okay, so he's talking about his hand and the possible strategies he's got. He's got a couple of hands in the works here, a possible straight flush, a possible royal flush, and he's talking out loud about possibly needing an ace or a queen. So let's see where he goes.
I would play ace of hearts into the top left-hand corner.
Okay, ace of hearts in top left. Very nice soft strike.
It didn't go in, so that gives Dan a chance that possibly he thought he didn't have.
Yes, we saw a nice little run there by Vladimir, but you know, he did leave a nice table here for Dan, depending on where he wants to go.
Yeah.
And you know, that's one of the advantages of poker pool is you can see your opponent's hand as you play, so you can develop a strategy as to how you want to play. Lots of options for Dan Schimke from North Hollywood.
I see a smile on his face, so I think he's liking it.
Oh, okay.
One of them is used in conjunction with the joker, and the other one, which is going to be going into the pocket if I hit it, is not.
Okay, so he's looking at 8s. Looking at possible 8s, so it could be something that maybe he's looking at for a 4 of a kind. It could be a royal flush, could be something to block Vladimir here. So it'll be interesting. Okay, he's calling the 8 of hearts here in the bottom left corner. 8 of hearts in the bottom left corner on a combination with the 8 of spades. So let's see how it works for him. Strikes it very nice. Pockets the 8 of hearts. So he is on the board with an 8 of hearts. Very, very nice. And you know, it's Dan's turn to bet.
Okay, so we're going to have you over to the betting table, and let's see what you do. 25.
Right now we are even, Stephen. He's calling the 8 of spades here in the bottom left corner. That was the call. And Dan pockets the 8 of spades. That gives him a pair of 8s on the board as he takes the lead. And that could be a very important ball here coming up in just a little while. We'll have to see where he goes and how he develops his hand. But he does have a pair of 8s. And we're going to head back to the betting table with Dan Shimke.
Okay, so what are we looking at now? Let me stand on this side of you.
I'm going to go 15.
All right, so Dan is betting
I will
15.
see your 15.
And Vladimir is seeing Dan's 15. So let's go back to the table.
I'll tell you what, there's some very conservative betting this week compared to last week, which is very interesting. You saw a lot of very aggressive betting last week, and this time a little more conservative on the betting side. So let's see where Dan decides to go.
It is the first game, though, so maybe that's why they're being...
Very true, very true. Ace of spades in the bottom right corner pocket. Now this could be huge for Dan. He does not pocket the ace of spades. That leaves a wide open table here for Vladimir. But Dan does still lead the hand with a pair of 8s. So let's see where he goes. Strikes it nice and soft.
Oh,
That's a rough one for Vladimir.
It definitely is.
Yes.
You know, that Joker is always playing games with people. We did not have a good luck with the Joker last week. Let's see what happens this week.
All right, so Dan, you're up here again. And looks like he has 2 8s on the board, correct?
Yes, he does have 2 8s on the board. He is ahead in the hand with the pair of 8s. So let's see where he goes. He's calling the Joker again in that same bottom right corner. Coming right at you at home. Strikes it very nice. Pockets the Joker. Gives him 3 8s on the board. And that is a huge, huge get for Dan. And you know what? While Dan's mulling over his next option, let's go ahead and go back to the betting table as it's Dan's bet. He's got 3 8s on the board.
All right.
Okay, I will put yours in. See that 10.
All right, so they're each betting 10. They have 10 more in the pot. So Dan will go to the table and figure out after the Joker where he's going to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's got options. There's a lot of things he can do, a lot of balls that can come into play, and a lot of different hands he can go after. Ace of hearts in the side right pocket. This could be huge.
Could be.
Strikes it very well, pockets the ace in that side right pocket. What a great strategy there for Dan. And I'll tell you what, this does 2 things. Not only does it take the ace off the board, but it prevents Vladimir from getting a possible royal flush. Great strategy by Dan Shimke.
Now, I'm going to help you over here because you're on the left side, right? So keep you.
We'll give it 25.
Okay,
From my pile.
25 from Dan the man. And let's see here now.
And I definitely will see that 25, even though my chances have gone close down the drain.
Uh-oh, Vladimir is thinking that his chances are not real good right now, but let's see what Dan does.
I'm calling the ace
Okay.
of spades in the corner pocket.
He's calling the ace here in the bottom left corner pocket, and that would give him a full house. Would give Dan a full house on the board if he could sink this shot. It's kind of a nice angle for him. Let's see what happens. Nice soft strike. He does pocket the ace of spades, so that does give him a full house. And actually, no, let me take that back. It gives him a 4 of a kind. It gives him 4 8s. It gives Dan 4 8s. So let me tell you what's left now. Well, let's go to the betting table first before I explain the next part of this. So it's Dan's bet.
So Dan's bet, and Vladimir, of course, still gets his chance at winning this match.
I'm just going to call you black.
Okay.
Okay, he calls him blind.
You're going to call?
He just calls it blind. So it is Vladimir's shot. Now here's what's really interesting now. Vladimir can still win the hand if he can pocket a straight flush, but he has 2 misses in his pocket. He cannot, if he misses more than twice, the game is over. Okay, so he's got a king, 10, and jack of hearts on the board. So that means he has to pocket the queen and the 9 of hearts to win this game. Anything else, and the game is over and Dan wins. Dan has 4 of a kind. He's got 4 8s on the board.
Well, we've seen some people recover last week, so let's see what they do this week.
Definitely.
I'm calling a 9 in the side pocket.
9 of hearts in the side right pocket. Strikes it very nice, very hard. He pockets the 9 of hearts. He's on the board now. He's got possible 3 shots
I will
to pocket
bet
1.
$25.
All right, so Vladimir is betting $25, and Dan is going to see him for the 25. So let's see where Vladimir goes from here.
We'll have to see. He's got.
I think for a straight, I need that queen of hearts.
He does need the queen of hearts for that possible
And
straight
I'll
flush.
play that queen of hearts into the side pocket.
And he's calling the queen of hearts in the side right pocket. It'll be interesting to see how this shot turns out. He does hit it. He hits it. So now here's what
I do
happens.
have another shot.
He has one more shot. If he doesn't pocket the queen of hearts on this shot, the game is over and Dan wins game 1.
And I will bet $25.
Okay, so back to the betting table. We're looking at Dan and Vladimir here. They each bet $25. So let's see. Betting's getting a little high now.
Yes.
I'm playing the queen cross side.
He's playing
into the side pocket.
the queen off the embankment to the right side pocket. He's going to try to bank it. Hits it nice and straight. That means Dan wins the hand with 4 of a kind. 4 8s for Dan. He wins game 1.
All right, come on over here, Dan the man. Talk to me. You were very fortunate here because he was lining them up right out of the get-go. How do you feel about that?
I feel great. I was a little tentative because we were talking earlier about strategy. Strategy with this game is completely different than any normal game. And because he gets an optional shot, he could have set himself up better on that hearts to win it, but luckily he missed. So thank you for missing, Vlad.
Yeah, and it looks like you are closer to, and I'm going to put this $500 back in my hand because I actually kind of
smell it.
like it being in my hand. But you're very lucky because you are 1 game closer to taking this home with you. So
Sounds good to me.